I'm going to be working on the lifted MX5 again. The first thing I'm going to be doing to this car is sorting out the rear kind of license plate panel there. On EU cars we have rectangular ones, which is kind of different to the American ones, which are a little bit smaller. So you can see it's a massive big space that goes in. And then I have the keyhole here, which I don't need anymore because I have the bonnet pins on the boot. And we don't have the locking mechanism, so that hole is just pointless. So after picking this up from MCG, it's a Maxon Design kind of flush rear panel. I think it's going to look pretty cool. I've never seen one of these on an MX5 before. I've seen ones that just still have the key, or maybe ones that don't have the key but still have the license plate indentation. So it's going to look pretty cool. Completely flush to the back. I hope it looks good. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove that rear panel and then replace it with this new one. And then after that I'm going to be sorting out some rust in the boot. When I installed the bonnet pins, I was stupid thinking that these would hold water out, and the boot has been filling with water, so I don't know how bad the rust is down there. It's been sitting for weeks like this, so I'm going to sand all that off and we'll see how bad it is. If the surface rust is really bad in the boot, I have black wrinkle paint there that I'll spray in there as well. And as well, I'm just going to remove all this carpet. It's completely moldy and all that sort of crack, so that's all coming out. Same with that one over there, and I'll probably take out the spare wheel as I can't see it doing much good on this car. And then once that rust in the boot is sorted out, I just have a few bits like preparing this here just for paint. I never really stopped it from rusting by putting anything on it. And then same around the bonnet pins with some rust around here. So yeah, first thing I'm going to do is pop off this old one. There's like 4 screws that I can see definitely need to come out. Those two there, and there's one little, looks like a rivet in there. They might need to come out, and then we'll see what else has to be done to get this thing out.
Perfect.
So the old panel is off now. There was a few clips that wouldn't come out. The screws here were completely rounded out, so I just drilled through that and it actually kind of melted the old back panel and actually popped off in the end. There are these here as well. I had actually no idea what they were at the start. I presumed they were lights, but you can see they're so dirty that no light has actually ever come out of them. I didn't know what they were. That they must be clear, just covered in so much dirt. So I think what I'm going to do with these is just push them down there and leave them for wire and underneath lights or rock lights or something afterwards, just because there's proper wiring there and there's nowhere for me to put it on the new panel. For installing the new panel, I am missing, there's basically nowhere to mount it. With the old one, there was so many holes basically going through for screws to go through. As you can see there's just so many different holes to go through, and that's where it was mounted at the back. There was these big metal brackets. This, I don't want any screws to basically go through, because that would defeat the whole purpose of having a flush panel. So what I'm thinking is, so what I'm thinking of doing is using that little screw down there for mounting up the corners. I have it upside down. So using that little corner down there and drilling the hole through the fiberglass here and putting that screw through. Same on the other side, but for the center there's nothing to mount it to, so I kind of need something proper. So I'm going to weld up a little bracket that will just come out here, and then I can drill through this and put some riv nuts through, or I have the little plastic clips that came with it that went through here, but they went into this bracket which was then screwed onto this. So I'm just going to weld on a piece of metal that will stick straight out, and then I can put through riv nuts or rivets or whatever I'm going to use. So that's what I'm going to do first, just sand this down a bit. And I have some metal there somewhere, that piece of metal over there. I'm just going to put that coming out nice and straight. Since I was lacking all those bolting points into the back panel here, because it's a new flush panel, I've after putting on this little bracket that I've after welding through, and I just have 2 little holes here. It's obviously going to sit on like that. I'm going to put 2 rivets just through the top. There's not going to be too much stress on this, and it is behind the lights as well, so you do have the lights holding it in from that little lip there. And then on either side I'm going to put 2 little screws through that are already kind of holding, I think it's the bumper together. Those little screws, I'm going to screw them out, drill a little hole, put that in and put it back through again. So there'll be 4 screw points, 2 in the center, 1 either side, and then we'll have the lights holding it in as well, so that should be plenty. panel in place. It took 2 rib nuts through the center. At the sides I was going to use those little plastic screw things that were holding part of the bumper together. I couldn't get it to go through in the end, so I just used 2 cable ties on each side to get a shape right, but it does seem to be fitting fairly well. It is a tiny bit short, as you can see. It should go like another few millimeters or whatever, but that seems to be holding up fairly well. Cable ties will do fine, can't see any of that. So next thing I'll do is just throw the lights back in. So the rear panel is now in place. It looks pretty sweet. The fitment is actually really good. It's fairly good all around this side. There is the tiniest gap there, as you can see, between the light and the actual panel itself, but it's not too bad. So the last thing I'm going to do today is pop out all that carpet pieces. Oh, open. I'm going to pop out all these carpet pieces, and then I'm just going to take a quick look at what the rust is like, and then I'm going to sand it all down tomorrow if it's bad. And in the morning I'm going to fix all this rust around here as well. The boot is completely drained. There is no more water in here. So what this mess basically is that there is sound deadener. I would guess that's what that shit is. It was really soaked with water and it was coming off really easy to start, so I thought, oh, I'll just start taking it off just in case it's rusting the metal underneath. When it did start to come away, like, the metal does look perfect underneath. There isn't really any sign of rust from what I can see. It kind of has like a spray over underneath the sound deadener, but this side here is near impossible to get off. This side was kind of dry. That was all soaked with water, so it was literally, I was just chipping it away with my hands. I tried an angle grinder to get rid of some of it as well. It wasn't coming off, so I think what I'm going to do now is just use the wrinkle paint I have. So I'm going to be using the black VHD paint. I'm still going to get the big bumps because some parts are metal, some parts are like the higher up. There's going to be some lips and all, but hopefully the wrinkle paint will hide some of it. The rest of the engine, not engine bay, the rest of the boot actually looks class. The paint is fairly good. Give it a bit of a little wipe down. So I'm actually only going to be spraying the center part here. I was going to do a bit more, and I've taken off the fuel line. Where is it? There, that metal piece there, that's going to be sprayed as well. So I'm going to spray these 2 things and throw them back in. So it is day 2. I've after doing a few bits last night and this morning, didn't record at all. The wrinkle paint I left to dry overnight, didn't wrinkle too good. I gave another coat and it still didn't wrinkle too good, but I'm just leaving it like that. You can see some parts of it wrinkled, some parts aren't. It looks fine down there. That's just to prevent any rust. And then I've actually took these off, sanded it down, and just put some grey primer on. I'm going to pick up some red paint to match this when I'm going to be kind of restoring the paint, trying to make it look a bit better. And I'll just be spraying over that. Same on this side. So that seems to be everything done. I just sprayed a few bits in there with that as well. And the new flush panel is on. The flush panel looks really cool. I've never seen these on MX5s before. As obviously everyone drives theirs on the road, so they need somewhere to put their plate, but it definitely looks nice and aggressive. It looks really cool the way the whole thing's rounded off at the back, especially with the bumper as well. I think it would look a bit funny with a bumper cut. I think it looks nice with the full bumper. It looks nice and cool. Really aggressive. I think it suits the whole off-road sort of thing that I'm doing with this car. That's it for this video. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up, I'm going to be doing more on the car today, and that's going to be in the next video. I'm going to be fitting upper control arms on the front of the MX5, the Juspo ones, to try fix the positive camber, and probably 1 or 2 other bits, whatever I can get done today. But that's it for this video anyway, and I'll see you in the next one, where I'm going to be continuing to work on the lifted MX5.